The PSP is hands down my most favorite system that I've ever owned. I enjoy this a lot more than the 3DS. Although I do like the 3DS, I would prefer a PSP over the 3DS. I don't know why I say that because the 3DS has so many more good games, but it is 2019 and this did come out in 2005. Almost 14 years. This device is probably the best device I've ever had in terms of having fun and having a lot of memories. This particular one is not the original PSP I owned. The original PSP I owned got destroyed. This right here is my original PSP. It doesn't work now. It has a black screen of death just because it fell down a long time ago, and that is the back. But yeah, this has been around with me forever. For years, this is tucked away in a box, and a couple of years ago when I was cleaning out, I cleaned out and I found this. So without further ado, I'm going to get into my collection. A couple of channels I'd like to tell you about. There's a good friend of mine. His name's Retro Big J86. Show him some love. Check out his channel. There's also another new channel I've been following, War Train Wins. And last but not least, I have a good friend. His name is Retro Steve Craig. Check out his channel. Without further ado, let's get started on the games. So this game is Manhunt 2. And Manhunt 2 is a very violent game. This game was actually banned in many nations. I believe it was also banned in Canada for people that were underage that couldn't play it. I still haven't gotten to play this one for the PSP in particular. But what I loved about the PSP was there was a lot of games that were from the PS2 that were put into this so you could play it on the handheld. So I really liked that concept. So that's game number 1. My most favorite game is X-Men Legends 2. This game was also on all the systems, but it was really cool for its time that you could actually take it and play it anywhere. Splinter Cell. So as we know, there's a lot of Tom Clancy's Splinter Cells out there on the market, and it was an okay game. I thought it was okay. It's just in my collection because this was probably the top 10 games that I first purchased a long time ago. The next game is Power Stone Collections. In case you don't know the Power Stone Collections, this was a game that was based on Smash Bros. And this game, for its time, was first set in the Sega Dreamcast. So it's a Capcom game, and there's a lot of fun that you can have with this game. If you haven't played it, definitely recommend it for everyone. The next game is Soul Calibur. The highlight of this game was that you got to have multiple players that were pretty good. A little bit of everyone came into the game, but the coolest thing was Kratos from God of War. He was in this game. So this was a big selling point. They did sell a lot of copies of this game, so I was fortunate enough to get it. Another game I got was Jak and Daxter. So Jak and Daxter, not much introduction I have to talk about. Everyone knows about Jak and Daxter. Fun game. The next game I have not played yet, is Brave Story. And this game was a Japanese game that was actually brought and translated into English. And that is pretty much the cover title. So what was cool about this was when it was displayed, it wasn't displayed like this in stores. They actually displayed it like this. So I did get this game off a deal a long time ago. For that time, I think I paid $20, which was a lot of money for a PSP game. But there's certain game titles for the PSP that are going up in value, and this is one of them. Also, what I really like about the PSP is games are cheap on it. The next game I have is Star Wars Lethal Alliance, G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra, and I have yet to play this game. I don't know anything about this game, but I got this for $1. Pet Adventures. So let me know about this game, how it is, if people have played it. Moving on with the collection. There's Metal Gear Solid. So what I liked about this game was they had certain Metal Gear titles on the PSP that weren't out. So this was one of them. Metal Gear Acid was another one, and another Metal Gear game came out. Sadly, this next game doesn't have the artwork, but it's Mega Man X Hunter, so that's a game. A really fun smash 'em up, beat 'em up game is The Warriors. It's basically you are this group of heroes and you have to fight multiple gangs. This was also made as a movie, so that was pretty cool. So that was a cool game for its time. Final Fantasy Crisis Core, Showdown of the Shaolin Monks. This was a cartoon as well. My older brother and I would watch this when we were younger as a cartoon, so that was a fun game, which was really cool for its time. Call of Duty, and this was pretty cool because it was out and you could play this on the go when you wanted to travel anywhere. A really fun game. Highly recommend this game. Tekken. If you haven't played Tekken, this is a game you can play on the go. Really fun. This was a game I got off someone, and I actually paid $1 for it. Deadhead Fred. I have no idea what it's about, but it was in the collection, and the price was only $1. I've got a second copy of Metal Gear. However, this was just the game, had no manual. So if anyone wants to trade for this, I can trade for this. And there's that one there that was complete. Rocky Balboa. And this is basically kind of similar to the one on the GameCube, except this is where you have to train and fight as Rocky Balboa. So this was a $5 game. And there's another game right there. It's a Final Fantasy game. So I just got this game on my last video. So if you haven't checked out my last video, please show it some love. I did get this game Year 1 Chronicles. So I don't know too much about it. Haven't played it. I just completed and passed this game. Justice League Heroes. Super fun game. I really enjoyed it. Very similar to X-Men Legends, except you play with 2 characters at a time instead of 4 characters. The Game 300. This was probably one of my top 10 favorite movies. Bounty Hunter, which was a very good game for its time. It is only available for the PSP port, this specific game. So I really like that. FIFA Streets 2, you can play this game forever and it doesn't ever get old. Top fun favorite FIFA game that I've ever played. Crash. This is available on the Wii as well. And this game right here, Blaze Blue. I did not pay $15 for it. I actually paid a little less than that. But I got this, it was a sale. I think it was like 20% off, plus I had trade credit a long time ago, so this is a game I got. I really enjoyed this game. and it's very common. It's on all ports, except for the one on the 3DS is really rare. So if you guys do find this, get this for the 3DS, because for some reason it didn't sell well on the 3DS. The graphics on this versus the 3DS is almost the same, except the 3DS has a little bit more fine-tuned graphics. Vice City. Everyone loves this game. I don't need any introduction. This one was actually more fun than the actual physical game that I played. So getting on to the next one is a Final Fantasy game. And this is the 20th anniversary. It's basically, I believe it's the regular Final Fantasy with just enhanced graphics. If there is a really bad game on the PSP, I would say it's the cons. When I first originally got this game, I paid $9.99 for it at EB Games a long time ago. I sold my copy a long time ago, and I rebought it back because it was one of the first games I ever bought for the system. It's basically you are a street thug fighting another guy, and you're basically a wrestler, and you basically make money off fights. And you can rig your fights to make the crowd look like you're getting beaten up. But it's just not a great game. It gets very repetitive, and I still haven't passed it, and I don't think I'm going to ever play it again. Capcom Classics Reloaded. So this was a fun game. You got a little bit of everything. The top games for the Sega that was ported onto the PSP, so there were a lot of good games here. And I just wanted to say that if you guys do find this out in the wild, it's worth getting. A really rare game I still haven't gotten to play. God of War, best game ever. Wolverine's Origins. So this game is actually on all the ports, but for the PSP, the gameplay was a little bit different. So I enjoyed this game. I had a lot of fun playing it. I don't think I've completely passed it. I got halfway into it, and then I got into other games. So that's the problem. I have so many good titles for this, and I still play the system every day till today. Need for Speed Undercover. Sonic Rivals. I recently got this a few videos ago. If you're new to this channel, check out my other videos. End War, Tom Clancy's. Everyone, if you've played Vice City, everyone has to play the Grand Theft Auto Liberty City stories. And this game right here, Pursuit Force, was fun, but I didn't get too far into it. The next game in my collection is Prince of Persia. I have really enjoyed this game over the time. Assassin's Creed. The reason why I really like this Assassin's Creed game is because I'm not a big fan of how many Assassin's Creeds that have come out. I can still stand the Prince of Persia on all ports, but the problem with the Assassin's Creed is you find them all the time at yard sales, and they don't really have a lot of resale value. What I really liked about the PSP was they didn't come out with so many games for this. This was the only game that was on the PSP for the system. So this is why this game is one of my more favorite Assassin's Creed. So I really like this one. 50 Cent Bulletproof G-Unit Edition. Fun game. This is the Sega Genesis collection. So this is similar to the Capcom collection. And the Capcom collection had some Sega stuff, I believe. But this is just primarily Sega games, so this was pretty fun. I enjoyed it. A game that's going up in price is Scarface for the PS2. This is similar to the PS2 game, with a little less graphics, but nevertheless a very good game. If you guys find this out in the wild for the PS2 or the PSP, please buy it, because you won't regret it. Okay, there's this game right here, which was recently bought at the yard sale. Last video, it wasn't a yard sale; it was actually a video game pickup that I got. So this game was there. Another Final Fantasy. Another really bad game for the PSP was this game. It was also available for the GameCube. I have no love whatsoever for this game. I thought it was very confusing. I don't recommend anyone play this, but it's in my collection because I've had it for a long time. I may get rid of this game or trade it away. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. But this is similar to the cons. I didn't enjoy this game. It's fired up. Similar to a little bit like Twisted Metal. And speaking of Twisted Metal, one of, still till this day, many people's favorite game on this handheld, Twisted Metal. Really fun. If you have never played a Twisted Metal game and you want to get into Twisted Metal, this would be the perfect game for the system. Trail in the Sky. This is a game that I recently got, as well as this game right here. So this was in the last pickup video that I had. Check that one out if you haven't seen it. The reason why I keep saying check that one out is I haven't had much views on it, but I think I had great quantity of games. So these were all the games that I got from there. Now, going on to my all-time favorite games for this system is Street Fighter Alpha Max 3. Super fun game. I've really enjoyed this game quite a lot. Dragon Ball Z, Budokai, Another Road. All the Dragon Ball games that I've played, I've all enjoyed them. Even Budokai 1 for the PS2, which they made 1 million copies of. That was a fun game. Budokai 1, Budokai 2, Budokai 3 is great. The PSP port is awesome. If you haven't played this, definitely recommend you get this. These are my top last few games that I like. Castlevania, Dracula X Chronicles. I found this game to be a little hard, but it's a fun game. I recommend everyone buy this game. Dragon Ball Shin Budokai. What's fun about this game was you would play multiple small storylines in multiple different chapters. You basically have to fight this guy right here. And he opens up a different world and a different realm for other bad guys to come through. It's really fun. Kingdom of Hearts. What I really liked about this game was there's 3 different stories you can play with. So you can play with Ven, these 2 other characters, and you get to team up with all the Disney characters. I stopped playing this game because there's one level I can't pass. My friend Contagious Collector also couldn't pass that level. So yeah, this is one of those games that I would say definitely play, but there's a lot of mini games that are a little hard, and I'm stuck on the ice cream level with Ven. So if anyone knows how to pass that, let me know so I can continue playing the game and finishing the game. And the game I'm currently playing, and is probably the funnest game I've played in a very long time just because the roster is so good, is Ultimate Alliance 2. So guys, if you really like this, please smash a like on the video. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate that. Thank you guys so much. I know it's been 3 weeks since I made a video, but I've been a little busy with life and not much video game pickups because I don't have a car. But when I do get a car, I'll get back into video game picking up and making regular videos. Thank you guys so much. See you till